Just for clarity though, if it wasn't obvious by now, this entire video is all opinions, and if you like something, then you shouldn't give a shit what I think or what anyone else thinks. Dude, that's gonna make some people angry. You guys did not hold back, did you? Recently, I asked you what your most hated guitars were, and you really went in, so let's have a look at some of these comments. Are you ready for this? Super quick plug though, I just released my debut EP, Distance, and it's out everywhere now. All the links you'll need are in the description and the pinned comment. I really hope you enjoy it. Really limited vinyls are coming as well too, but more info on that soon. The humble Telecaster, revered by many. Shouts from the hills and mountains of Nashville echo down. Leo got it right the first time. Not according to these comments, dude. Mojo Filter 34 cracked me up with this one. I used to hate Telecasters because they look like a slice of toast with a cutaway to me. I don't know why that was so funny to me, mate, when I read it for the first time, but it's just one of those things that I can't unsee now, and I really like Telecasters. But to be fair, I'm a fan of toast as well, so like, maybe it's that and it's just made me like Telecasters more. They do go on to say in their comment that they've got a Telecaster now and they actually love it, so like, maybe they come off the keto diet or something. And Nathan threw some shade at Tellies as well with, for some reason, I think Telecasters in certain colours look more like 50s kitchen appliances than guitars. Like, which colours, dude? 50s kitchen style was an absolute nightmare, honestly, man, but like, I do totally get where you're coming from. That said, I've got a warning for all of you, and Mojo Filter knows exactly what I'm going to say. The love of Telecasters is coming for all of you. It's just a matter of time. I for sure used to be in the Telecasters a dog shit camp, but as time went on, my bones grew wearier. Telecasters were just calling out to me. Like the Grim Reaper, but dressed in butterscotch blonde robes, and he had a message for me. You're getting f***ing old, dude. Granted, I'm not super old in human years, but in guitar years, I am ancient. I just turned 33 a couple of weeks ago, and from my experience, if you're not born with the love of Telecasters already in you, it will creep up on you as you get older. You can either fight it and continue to lie to yourself, or you can just gracefully accept it and move on to a post-Telecaster existence. I'm not here to advise you though, I'm just here to warn you. Gibson took some extreme heat too, and I'm just sat here like warming myself by the smouldering ashes. All of you that slated Gibson, I am firmly on your side. Like these comments from Goatcast Channel and Octavio. People who play Gibson have never played a good guitar. Hot take for Gibson fanboys, common sense for the rest of us. Dude, that's gonna make some people angry. Spicy guitar take. Even if I had the money, I'd take an Epiphone over a Gibson. There's just nothing that can't be done to a cheaper Epiphone that justifies the price of Gibsons. What's the f***ing tagline that Gibbons had? Only a Gibson is good enough. That's objectively correct. They're good enough. Not great though, are they? Actually no, I'm gonna take that back, because every Gibson that I've played that hasn't been several months' wages has been f***ing terrible. I remember playing a Custom Shop SG a little while back, and it was single-handedly the most uninspired instrument I've ever put my hands on. It played like shit, it sounded like shit, and it was $4 grand. But the cool thing is that with every purchase of a Gibson, you get a complimentary shot of copium straight into the frontal lobe so that you can continue to believe that they're the best company ever. It's f***ing hilarious, dude. I will never understand why people are paying for the Gibson name when you could just get an Epiphone for far less, and they're making guitars that are almost, if not just as good as the Gibsons. Also, people paying insane amounts of money just to have some guy f***ing beat the guitar up for you. Imagine doing that as a job, dude. The guys at the Gibson Custom Shop must be absolutely pissing themselves every time they're commissioned thousands to do that, when I'd smash up a Gibson for free. It is absolutely crazy. Although, I'm sure we've all noticed Epiphone's prices are creeping up recently. I mean, some of the recent releases are well outside affordable territory, and there's not a single one of us here that thinks that Epiphones should be over $1,000, surely. But I do have a confession, and it's a little bit hypocritical. I would have a Gibson Explorer in natural. I just think there's something about them. Maybe I've been wearing that beanie in all my other videos because I want to be the edge. Who knows? Nah, it's actually just because I shave my head and my head looks like a potato, but I do love natural Explorers. There is still a lot of other guitars that I would buy over an Explorer if I had the money, and it would grate on me like mad to give Gibson my cash, but I do still like them. And if I did have one, I'd be allowed to post on r/guitar about how good it is making beautiful, sweet music with Eliza. Now this is a good one. You can feel the vitriol in this comment. BC Rich Warlocks, all of them, in the bin, especially the glossy black ones. They go in first, and then set the bin on fire, and then take the ashes and throw them into a volcano, and then blow up the volcano with a thermonuclear weapon. That's a lot of stuff for a warlock to deal with. Why do you hate warlocks so much, man? My dude Stoicism really took the opportunity to get his hatred for warlocks off his chest, and I love that. Even if it does hurt me a little bit, because I am a secret warlock enjoyer, or at least semi-secret since the Guilty Pleasures video came out. And he wasn't the only one who felt that way. A few of you pointed out warlocks for being ugly as and too spiky and too dangerous, and as much as I want to stamp my feet and cry like the average Stevie T viewer after nap time, I do get it, I understand it. They are a polarising shape and a bit over the top. When your guitar looks like some sort of orcish battle axe, then you might be leaning a little bit too hard into the I'm so metal and scary kind of thing, and it can come across as a little bit silly. That doesn't make me love them any less though. I would still have one in an heartbeat, and I don't care how ridiculous I'd look. Also, I think you've got to be kinda big to make a warlock look good, which I'm not. You've got to be some sort of like Mick Thompson type stature to get away with it. Average size and build just isn't gonna cut it. If I can get one though, I'm gonna, and then we'll all really see how dumb I look with one. Gretch. That's the noise my dog makes when it sees one. Livesy Towers dropped that beautiful piece of poetry, and I just had to include it because it's not just dogs, it's the rest of us that think Gretch makes some of the worst guitars imaginable. It honestly properly boils my piss that they've become this flavour of the month guitar brand for baritones, and the guys who want to play something in drop 12 sharp are all slurping them up. They're fucking rancid, dude. I couldn't care if they were the best guitars in the world. It would take a whole lot to get me to even sit with one. I dislike them so much. And here's another thing, the White Falcon. What in the world does this massive, bulbous, blinged out toilet seat of a guitar have in common with a Falcon at all? It looks like the guitar version of Final Form Elvis Presley, not a highly evolved apex predator. Naming it after a falcon is the most dubious advertising ever. There's just nothing I like about Gretsch, and they're not cool just because they've got a long ass baritone that goes low as balls. Just for clarity though, if it wasn't obvious by now, this entire video is all opinions, and if you like something then you shouldn't give a shit what I think or what anyone else thinks. Gretsch are still shit though. This is one that I had to include because I thoroughly disagree with it now, but originally I did completely agree with what Ryan's saying and it gave me a good laugh. My most hated guitar is the new Chapman ML2 design. It looks like a cartoonist had sex with a bad idea and gave birth to a clear way to avoid a lawsuit. Do you mean this Chapman ML2 Pro, dude? Or do you mean this Chapman ML2 Standard, which by commenting you entered a giveaway for? Just imagine if I liked your comment the best and sent this to you now. You've got to respect it though, man, slating the guitar that I'm giving away.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But that is the coolest thing about being a guitar player. We all love and despise different things, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. The good thing is that there's always going to be something for everyone. I appreciate you, Ryan, for being so honest about it. The new shape of the ML2 was not well received, generally speaking. It definitely split opinions because a lot of people really like the old ML2 shape, which is completely fair, and then some other people are just Gibson fanboys. I was one of the former. I really couldn't get my head around the changes that they've made, and it did seem, like Ryan said, that it had come out of some form of litigation. Whatever it was though, having played these guitars, I've got to say it's made them better. This is probably the best single cut that I've played in recent years. It's hyper playable, it's super comfortable, I just think it's great. And depending when this video goes out, one of you will already have your hands on this exact guitar, or it'll be very close to getting to you, which I am super excited for. I announced the winner recently when we hit 5,000 subscribers, and it's Stoicism. Congratulations, dude, I hope you love it. Finally, here are a couple of comments that I just couldn't leave out, either just because I respect them going all in, or because I thought they were funny. And quickly, thank you so much if you did comment on the Hot Takes video. I massively enjoyed reading all of them. It's been so much fun, and I'm so sorry if I couldn't get to you in this video, but just know that I did massively enjoy myself getting through them and replying to them. So, Avery said, God, I am so glad that I'm not the only one who hates black super strats. Some spicy takes. Music Man Sterling owned the pinnacle of headstock design. Sunburst is the ugliest finish, period. Strats and tellies are boring and so oversaturated that I've grown to resent them. Quilt of Maple is the supreme figured top for a guitar. No burst though. I've never seen a Fender headstock I liked, and I especially dislike the giant Strat headstocks. Lastly, all digital rigs of the future, it's inevitable. First of all, thank you. I'm glad I've got another person who's against these super strats. Boring ass guitars. But also there's a lot of really good takes in here. The Fender headstock thing, especially the big ones, did get me a little bit flustered, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're the best ones, but I respect it and thank you. Randy went in on a whole section of the player base with I can't stand looking at left-handed guitars. It makes me ill. I truly feel bad for left-handed guitarists. I wish YouTube had an option to flip the screen horizontally and make it look right. Now, I'm sure he's got absolutely nothing against left-handed people, but I do know what he's talking about with left-handed guitars. I think because we all see right-handed guitars so often, when you look at a left-handed version of something that you know, it kind of makes me feel a bit seasick. For me specifically, the left-handed Strandbergs make me feel super weird, but lefties also get the best colour in the 6 strings, so at least there's that. And while we're on the topic of Strandberg, Lord Raptor said, I absolutely despise headless guitars and fan frets. Doesn't matter what brand or what shape, they make guitars look hideous. Alright, that's it. I've f***ing had enough of this. I can't read any more of this bullshit. How dare you even say that about headless guitars? Strandbergs, do you know what? I'm done. Bye. See you later. I'm gone.